Hello, hello. And you are listening to the Joey D Show. We'll be back after this short break. Hello, my kiddos. We're back. There's our newest episode. I'm your friend, Joey D. And guess what? I'm doing something new and different, and I have a great guest with me, and he's going to go ahead and introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, my name is Shawn Lloyd, and I'm the CEO founder of the Fashion Mansion Group.
Alrighty. Hi, Sean. Welcome to my show. And this is completely a new territory for me. But then again, this show is all about business, being innovative, being creative, how do business and entrepreneurship. And then obviously bringing together digital marketing and so on. So, Sean, my first question, how you became the CEO, where did Sean started? Can you give us a little storyline on that?
Oh, okay. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and that's where the company was founded. It was originally the original name was EM Marketing,
Mm.
and the company was started in 2003 in New York. I was about 24 years old.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that was like literally you were doing, that's how you started. You always had this love inclination about fashion. You wanted to do something on your own.
Early out, when I was from a young age. Transferred over into, me into what I do today. Like how Confucius say, do what you love. And it never seems like, you're working. If you want to do something, take on a career, take on something you love. So like kind of like it wasn't something like I knew I was going to do. It kind of just all came together.
Really?
I had a friend that he was in the clothing business, like so he was like a few years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
and we grew up together like in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
So he always knew me for being fat, like being, very fashionable. So say like in the 80s, I used to
The
I
80s,
used to
yeah.
the 80s, crazy '80s.
Those neon colors and all that.
Yeah. We used to do all that stuff too, and we used to wear like to say like the Ralph Lauren's, the Gucci's, Yves Saint Laurent's, Christian Dior's. So that was kind of like a rarity. Like you hear a lot of it like today, like in the music, and it's kind of like some of these names are more of a norm now.
Correct. So do you think embracing that culture brought definitely more awareness, especially in the African American society, of what is exactly everybody was wearing?
Yes. And this period was to say like what we was doing in the neighborhood. So that's a whole nother story in itself
Yes, it
because
is. Yeah, music
it's
and fashion,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Like or even like this whole
That they call it
and
urban.
into the music
Correct.
into yeah. So that started like in the 80s, like in
So
so
coming back to you, so you started with your friend. You were
yeah
24. Were
yeah.
you
So
okay? So tell me more. What you were exploring at that time? What was happening?
okay, so what happened was he used to always he knew he always known me for being fashionable, so he was starting the clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
When he used to see me, like where my house was at, where I used to live at, was like right around the corner from like the train station, and I used to see him going to the city like every day. And he'll show me designs and stuff like that on his computer. We go to the office. He's showing me all type of swatches, different designs, fabrics, and stuff like that, and asking my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling people out from the back. He's like, "Hey, look at how he's dressed. This guy knows about fashion, this, what have you." So I started to think, they started asking me all type of questions. So I started to think, I'm like, if I yay something, I'm helping them.
So you already had kind of like that eye and vision of what was working upon your
Yes,
taste.
just the street market will want, because this is like the early introduction of like streetwear brands. So say like the
Mm-hmm.
Car Canais, April War, Fubu. They was just starting out.
Fubu.
So he used to work with these brands and stuff like that. So coming from where we come from, that was kind of like bigger than life. Like, oh wow, like how you get hooked up with this, you making your own clothing line. That was crazy. So I was, like in my late teens, and I started like,
I guess eloquently. So you never saw yourself working for anybody else. You really wanted to work on your own really early on.
yeah,
Like you really had the spirit of entrepreneurship. Like I'm gonna do my
I
own
was
thing.
kind of forced into that because like from early out, so I wasn't able to work anywhere because it's not legal for a minor to work until like they're the age of 16.
Correct, correct. At the
Yeah.
time. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they had like apprentice programs for like 14 years old, but that was like real hard to get. But it was 16 years old to get summer youth jobs. So now by the time I get old enough, like I'm 16, they eliminated summer youth jobs. I'm not now. I'm in between where I'm not even old enough to get a job at Burger King or a messenger job. Like teens. Kids. It's
Of
like
course. Yeah, what you do in the summer.
yeah,
Exactly. That what gets you your foot
yeah,
in there.
or
Mm-hmm.
even just it wasn't even like urban black male with like limited skills. The most you could do was
Correct,
was was
correct.
was restaurants, and like entertainment, say
Retail.
arcades, stuff like that, or
Yeah.
like messenger jobs,
Re-
delivery jobs, stuff like that. So now I'm 16, but I'm not old enough to work any of those jobs because you need to at least be.
correct.
So I had all through all this time, I had to come up with ways to make money. That kind of
Right.
like started my entrepreneurial you know journey. I could say selling toys and stuff like that, buying things of more value. And then like I was good with liquidating stuff early. When I see like the trends, like this stuff was about to like something new was gonna come and this was about to get played out or whatever like that. I would like the younger kids
Really?
in the neighborhood. So like, stuff like I would have access of, and it's like I'm not I know I'm not going to be into that anymore. So say like all throughout preschool. Now I'm more.
So you're a
Yeah, so
pioneer.
now I'm more into clothing because now you're getting older, you're getting into junior high school, middle school, girls. You want to impress people now. It's more peer pressure and stuff like that. The music and everything that was going on, it was a reflection of where you from and who you are and your
Were you? So your mom was okay with this?
like selling
You
clothes and
like
stuff like that.
doing your little side hustle?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after a while, it was like, okay, to give you a breakdown. I grew up a single child, single parent home, mother on welfare. We grew up on welfare. So
Correct,
now,
correct. Okay.
limited resources. I mean, limited resources, especially when
So
I'm.
you had to be
Yeah,
resourceful,
so
right? So that.
I had to be resourceful, and then when you get older, see when you're a child, it's different ways where it's like you can stretch your pennies a little more. But now you're getting older,
Yeah.
your feet getting bigger. It's more fabric to make your clothing, so it costs more naturally.
That was definitely one of your like very early survival skills. You're like, I'm gonna do something
Yeah,
here.
yeah, 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 yeah. I had to figure out. I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I grew up 3 streets from Mike Tyson, where Mike Tyson, and
Correct.
being a child with no real I didn't have no older brothers, no other siblings.
Alrighty, you're back.
Yes,
Okay. So you pretty much you left me off telling the story of when you
I
were
can't.
young, that when you actually made the decision that you say all the jobs or opportunities that you were looking into, well, you were literally coming to the realization that I think you're going to work on your own, and you were still in New York. So I haven't even got to the part where, okay, how from New York you came to California.
Okay.
Okay,
I
that's
can't
that.
hardly hear you. Are you far from the microphone?
No,
Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's really low. I don't
Really
know.
low.
Yeah.
What about now? What about now?
I'm saying before it was much louder. Let me see if I could. I don't know if I could use my
Hello,
earpiece.
hello. Three,
Can I
two.
use my earpiece?
Okay, yeah, I think so. As long as you don't have any echo. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. Three, two, one. So that's where you left off, or saying, okay, now you can transition and say how your career starting in New York brought you to California and so on.
Okay.
You want to pick up from
Um.
there?
Yeah, but
Oh, that's a huge
it's a
gap.
gap because I got to explain what I
Okay, then
did
if
in New
you
York before.
so then you want to pick it up from whatever you did. Okay, so you were still helping your friend
Yes, I
with
was
his
helping.
brand,
Yes, yes, I was helping him. He
and
was picking my
then
brain. He was bringing me to the office and stuff like that every day.
right, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, then we can take it from there. And in three, two, one, we are back. We are back after this break. I have my guest. His name is.
Shawn Lloyd.
All right, Shawn. This is a new territory for me, as I was saying, and learning from you from the fashion industry and the whole business side of it. So go ahead and let's kind of how you develop in not only like basically you had a vision. So now, with the term that we have today is how did you started monetizing your vision? You said that you did were some comic books and you were kind of doing your own
Yeah,
little side
yeah,
hustle.
yeah. That was as a child. So now when I get older, I'm making a transition. Like I'm in my late teens, like my early 20s. You know, I had drifted away from like school and stuff like that. See, I gotta explain that too, because like
Of
yeah,
course.
growing up, like I was always like I was like a bright child. So like I was always like in the top classes and what have you, from early out. Had the opportunity to
Nice.
go to Trinity Prep, but my mother, she couldn't afford just the basic things for me to attend. And Trinity Prep is like a well-known school in New York City. Had the
Right.
opportunity to get
Okay.
skipped. That didn't happen because they took out the ninth grade. I was supposed to got skipped from the seventh to the ninth grade, but when I got to the middle school, they took out the ninth grade. So when these things happen, they were like back to back kind of situations, and I kind of got like jaded with school. Like from early out, I was reading comprehension. I was uh, academically like on a college level, like in third grade, where I was reading and comprehension skills on 12th grade level. So fast forward now, um, I was just getting caught up, you know, in the streets of New York, kind of um, like my focus wasn't there. So then when I woke up, I said, you know what, I got to get back focused because if I don't do it now, it's going to be harder to do it later. So this was like in my
Right.
early
Like you
20s.
feel like life is taking you and pulling you in another direction.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I said it's time for me to get things right. So I had dropped out of high school. I went and got my GED. Got my GED, and then I went and attend started attending college. I enrolled into college, community
Oh
college.
wow.
So
Okay.
now I get into college now. Um,
This is you paying your own way to through college.
I took no, I had got like financial aid because it was a
You
community
did.
college. It was a community college, so I was
Okay,
able to
you
get financial. I
qualified
was
for it.
qualified, yeah, for
Okay.
financial aid. So I
Awesome.
get there now. I take up art history because I say, you know what, I'm gonna get into fashion or something, art or creative related. But no, I knew it was gonna be fashion, right? So I take up art history. That's my major. The professor, he gives us a an assignment. This is like the fourth assignment he gave us. All the other assignments I had got A's on. This is the fourth assignment, and I got an A again. The lowest grade I ever got was an A minus for this class. So now
Wow.
this is a big part of the story. That's all I couldn't even skip over this part. So now it's it's a medium they give us to work in. We were supposed to make like a collage where you cut out pictures, put them together, and it's supposed to invoke a feeling or emotions, or it has a meaning to it. So I got what he was trying to get out of us for us to do artistically. So everyone in the class, they pretty much everyone else, they just like cut out a bunch of cards, put them together, cut out a bunch of leaves, put them together, like a bunch of the same pictures and put them together. But that's not what he wanted. So out of the whole class, I was the only person to get an A. I got an A minus. He said, so now the rest of the kids in the class, they got like C's, C minuses. I was the only one to get an A.
Wow.
So when he gives back the grades, he tells everybody, Shawn, he was the only one to get what I was trying to get you guys to do. He got an A. He got the highest grade. Everybody else got a C. Shawn, come to the front of the class. So you can't made me come to the front of the class and show
Oh
the
my
artwork.
goodness.
Yeah, I had to show the
You were the
artwork, break
highlight
it
of the
down.
class.
Yeah, it made me like the highlighter, yeah, for that day. So now he go on this tangent about I was the only one to get what he was saying and whatever like that, for the class. So he sends me back, to my seat. He's like, you can go back, sit down. He said, but I want you to come after class. So I'm like, what you want me to come after class for?
Okay, what this guy wants with
Yeah,
me?
like what I do now. So now I go now after class, and the first thing come out of his mouth is he says, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What am I doing here?" He
Wow.
said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" He said, "Matter of fact, what is it you want to do?" I said, "What do you mean? What do I want to do?" He said, "Career wise, what is it you want to? What are you going to school? What are you doing? What are you aspiring to do after this?" So I was like, "I want to get into
Because
fashion design." Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now he's like, "So why are you taking up art history?" So I said, I look at fashion as art. It's like the body is a blank canvas,
Yes.
and you put on that canvas what you want to portray to the world. You create your art through the way you dress. You can dress for whatever mood, activity, or whatever like that. You're painting your picture. So he's like, all right, that's a good answer. This. So he was like, you know what? I have kids, they come here, their parents, they pay money, whatever, like that. And kids can't even draw a stick. He said, I can't tell you how to be creative. He said, either you got it
Yeah.
or you don't. He said, I can't tell you how to be
Yes.
creative. You can tell you how to use different mediums, but you can't teach someone to be, you can't teach a Picasso. You just give them the skills or different options of what they can use, but it's innately there. So he goes on. He's like, I don't think
So
you
you
need this
already
class.
had artistically, in you. You
Yeah,
heard
yes,
that line.
yes. Because like going back to elementary, like going back even days at like elementary school, I used to compete on a scholastic level, like in art competitions. So that'll go on for like it may be district, and then it'll turn into borough, and then it'll turn into state, city, then state. So I've been through that before. That was part of the reason how I almost, had the opportunity to go to Trinity Prep, which is the affluent
Right. That
school.
was okay. That's what brought you there.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
part of, just, being bright and then being art, having that,
Oh, so
the
you already had a
artists already.
curriculum going on.
Yeah, so I
Yeah, you
didn't,
had a curriculum.
it was just about molding it into, finding out what is it exactly you want to do. Usually that's not brought out to of a child. Some people are groomed from early because they have the resources and the finances and they have the right people to have
Correct.
around
And
the
the
children. Yeah, to
circumstances.
start
Yes.
putting certain thoughts in their mind. In the inner city, it's like you float through life and hopefully you figure something out before you get, gets too
Yeah.
old. It's like
Right,
you
right,
want to
right.
figure out
It's like
as early as possible, which is
you have to
yeah,
because you're in a survival mode.
yeah,
And it's like, bless your mom because she did everything that she had to do. But then it's like, it's like just making sure that you have a roof over your head,
yeah,
and make sure that everything
yeah.
else is
It's just it's only but so
very
much she could
basic.
do. It's like not no males
Correct.
around, no father figure. It's only
Yeah,
her. I'm a teenager now. It's only but so much she could tell me after a while. And then it gets to the
I
point where
got you.
I'm providing for the household. Certain things may be overlooked, because they know the
Yes.
resources aren't there. So it's like you have to do what you have to do for survival, you know. So putting all these things
Thanks to
together,
that teacher.
yeah, thanks to the
Thanks to
teacher.
that
But then
teacher.
it was like still like when they told me that I still was on my own. I mean, before we even get to that, they was like, I can't, you can't teach a person this. It's like either you got it
No,
or
no,
you
no.
don't.
Creativity cannot be taught. No,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It's something that is your gift. Is that's what you're here with us.
Yes. So the major part of this was that he was saying you could go out and learn this. You could go out and learn it on your own, like to get involved as early as possible. So I'm like, he was like, do you have any like do you know people like in the fashion business? So that goes back to my friend earlier. The guy used to pick my brain all the time. I have a friend, he has a fashion brand, and I be working with him here and there. He said, there you
That's where
go.
the light bulb.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said,
the
there
light
you
bulb
go.
went off.
He said, that's your mentor. Use that. Use that to your advantage. You have an advantage. Use it. So I remember going home after that. I
Definitely.
was thinking that because innately, like inside, I was kind of feeling like that already. But I wanted to go through with it because nobody up to that time never in my family had like I know graduated
Validated.
from college. So I was like, I wanted to just do this, my moms, whatever, like that. But innately in me, I was feeling like it was moving too slow for me. So say like if I'm
Yeah.
already on a 12th grade level in the third grade, now I'm in college, you really gonna have to keep me stimulated because my
Yeah.
my, my mind I could take in a lot of information at once. So it's like I have to
Fast.
be stimulated. I have to be constantly. I can't keep regurgitating old stuff that I learned already. You know,
It was just boring. It
it
was
just
just boring
yeah,
to
it was
you.
just boring. The school the art was the best part of like attending dealing with the art class. You know, so now excuse
So
me. So now
now, yeah, it's like, and it's like we cannot blame ourselves. I and I totally can relate to you. Like, you get to this point in life that I'm like, I did everything that they told me to do. I finished school. You said that I have to go to college. We did the college. We need to get a job because that's what we were said to do in society. But that's just not how it works. I went through that, but then at one point you're like, this is not it. This There was something inside of you that was moving you, and thank God for you. It really happened really early on,
yes,
not for
yes. So now I drop out, so I had to tell my moms this, go through that. Now I got to figure. Now I'm figuring it out. So fast forward now. This is where it comes into me figuring out what I'm going to do, as far as the company. Before I started doing the company, like I knew people in the entertainment business. Growing up in New York, a lot of that is around you. So I knew people like
a lot of exposure.
um like iconic like hip hop artists, pioneers, stuff like that. So I used to work with different artists and different entertainers. So so
Mm-hmm.
around this time,
So you
no,
were,
I wasn't a producer.
yeah.
I was doing music for a sec. I was doing music, right? But I knew that wasn't going to be like that was just like a stepping stone I was looking at, you know?
You were using it to, I guess, be known and get known,
Yes, yes,
networking.
yes. So now So now, I damn, I almost lost thought. So now I go to Vegas. No, I
You're
get up
going
with my friend.
around
I
doing.
get up with with, with my friend. So now he's like touring and stuff like that. His name's Special Ed. He's an old school hip hop artist.
Hmm.
So we like doing music and
Okay.
stuff together. He had a studio out in Brooklyn. I used to do music with him. So he was touring. We was in Las Vegas. So when we was in Las Vegas, during the time we was in Las Vegas, it was a trade show going on, called the Magic Trade, the fashion trade show called Magic. So I'm there, right?
Mm.
And while I'm there,
Wow.
I'm looking around because this is the trade show where it's like all the fashion brands get to show what's going on the next season. They sell it for the next season. So now I'm
Wow.
there and I see Reebok. I see the Reebok booth. This is like 2003, early 2003. So now probably like February 2003. So I I I'm looking at Reebok and I'm like, is no traffic going on by their booth? Is nothing going on, right? And I'm thinking, I'm like,
Mm.
I grew up
Right.
off of Reebok, and I felt like I knew what they was looking for, what they was missing.
They were missing. They
Yeah, I
were
said,
missing. I had
yeah.
Reeboks too
So now,
myself.
yeah, everybody grew up off Reebok. So it's like I went to them, and I said, I don't know what even came over to me to say, you know what, I should go approach them and see if they'd be interested in like any marketing consultation. I don't have no company, no cards, and nothing. I just went off a whim, and
Check you out.
I just
Bold
went and
moves.
said, hey, you know what? Have a marketing company. We, help out companies with marketing and branding in the fashion business, and grew up off Reebok, love the Reebok brand, and I think it's potential for you guys, like in the urban market. I think it's stuff you guys are missing out on. And the guy just goes in. He's like, listen to me the whole time. He just goes in and was like, hey, I'm gonna give you the director of marketing's email. Write it down on a piece of paper. Then he was like, here. He writes down
Whoa.
his phone number. Then he was like, if you can't get in contact with him, contact this guy. This is the VP of marketing. So I'm like, he's giving me all these
No
contacts higher up like
way.
that. I'm like, wow. I'm like, what if I didn't come over here and say anything? So I get back to New York. Yeah, I
Can
get
you
back to New
imagine?
York now and I call, but I already had in my mind, like, if they don't get back to me, this was still a sign and for me to keep going forward.
Well, we definitely know something about America. There's a convention for everything, and this set the spark and
Yes,
fire in
yes.
you for sure. And you know what, guys? This is getting so good. Shawn is gonna stay right there. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back just right after this break. I know it's getting really, really good. We're gonna be right back. And there we go. This is really exciting. Now we're gonna go to the juicy part.
Oh, oh, oh,
In
oh.
three.
Um,
You need
Yeah,
to
I was
say
gonna
something?
say, how long you wanna? Cause I might have to do a call. I might have to make a call real quick. And can I call you right back? I just gotta get some. I just had a text come in, or is it still live right now?
Of course. No, we're still recording, but I'm gonna edit all of this, and you're gonna listen. Don't worry. Take your time. Let me know. It's 2:48 if
Okay,
you
let
want to
me
take
take
a
a call
call,
real quick,
and
and I'll
I'll.
call you right back.
Hello, hello, my kiddos. How are you? I wanted to offer you guys a free podcast session of how to produce a podcast. I see that you guys enjoy my show. You leave me amazing comments. So I'm going to put the link of Instagram so you can DM me, and I will offer you a free 15-minute session in how to set up your podcast. Again, reminding you that I'm a former media corporate and I'm also a podcast producer, content creator. And sometimes we just need somebody to walk us through the process of how to put this together. So, see you on the other side. Ciao, ciao. So, if you're really, really interested, slide to my DMs on Instagram and I'll see you there.